Good evening, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining me this evening. I'm privileged to be speaking to you from the conference room here at Western Michigan Christian Middle and High School. It's almost become another place of home for me over these last couple of months. And yet I'm really privileged and thankful for the opportunity of sharing with you tonight. Thank you for your presence and thank you for your aid and work as it relates to Western Michigan Christian Middle and High School. Let me open up with a word of prayer and then we'll start the program for this evening. God, how thankful we are for the privilege of this day, how thankful we are for the grace that you've provided in this day and for this day. We thank you for the work and effort of this, your school. We ask that you would meet us in wisdom, meet us in conversation tonight as we work. Thank you for the families, all of the students that make up our school, and may it be to your honor and glory. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Again, thank you so very much. I'm privileged tonight to have sharing with me Mr. Kyle Kempster, and Kyle is giving leadership to our technology tonight. And if there are any challenges as it relates to that, please help me blame Kyle Kempster for that effort. So thank you so very much tonight, Mr. Kempster. Let me say just a special word of thank you to a number of people, to our staff, to our faculty, to the board of directors, to you as parents, to all of our students for your commitment to Christian education here at WMC. I'm eternally thankful for the opportunity that we have to advance the kingdom of Jesus Christ through Christian education. As you know, in March of this year, we started a different pathway. And in just a matter of a few days, we went from in-person learning to WMC remote school. That was a quick turnaround, and yet we believe very strongly that we had good success. That success was orchestrated by you as parents who quickly became classroom teachers. It was orchestrated by our teachers who extended themselves in so many different ways. And just a special thank you for that particular effort. We got to May 29, which closed our academic year. And since May 29, we've been thinking as to who we are and what we will be doing as we move forward for this academic year of 2021. Let me also begin in this presentation and to remind all of you who are sharing with me that much of the direction of schools, be it public schools and non-public schools, are driven by executive orders that have been passed down to us from the governor's office for the state of Michigan. Our school board has reviewed all of those orders, and we have all agreed as a board that Western Michigan Christian High School will adhere to those particular orders that has been passed down by the state of Michigan. As you know, the governor has developed this educational and social opportunity in what is called phases. And those phases go phases 1 through phase 6. Just a quick review, phases 1, 2, and 3 under this particular order would have our school as a remote learning center. Phase 1, 2, and 3 would have all of our students learning remotely. There's an opportunity for in-presence with teachers. There's an opportunity for in-presence in the building for essential staff, but phases 1, 2, and 3 would have our students learning outside of the building. Phase 4 would allow us to have in-person learning with significant safety protocols in place. Phase 4 allows us to have in-person learning with significant protocols in place. Phase 5 would allow us to have in-person learning and a real review of safety protocols that allows us not to be so stringent in their expectations. That's phase 5. And then phase 6 is our opportunity to return back to education such as we knew at the early stages of March. So that's a quick review of phases 1, 2, and 3, phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6. Today, the governor office made a presentation, and that presentation talked about the fact that we are in phase 4. Tonight, our school is in phase 4. In fact, much of Michigan, with the exception of 2 particular areas, have been moved out of 4 to 5, but the majority of Michigan tonight is phase 4. I'm really, really excited over the fact that I believe that we've put together, we've organized a plan that will address learning in a way that would give us in-person presentation. Our goal is to bring our students back to the campus and to bring them back to the campus under 2 umbrellas. Umbrella 1 is a safe place. Umbrella 2 is an opportunity to continue the legacy of learning with a mindset of excellence. And that's what I hope to discuss with you tonight. How do we provide a safe arena, and how do we continue that attitude and efforts of excellence? I've had the opportunity to review all of the questions that have been submitted. I'm going to do my best to get as much of that as I can tonight. And then I look forward to addressing those challenges and other things with you as well as we go. Again, please note that we're going to, as a school, be operating under the premise of these particular phases. Phases 1, 2, and 3, that will be remote learning. Phase 4, the opportunity of in-person learning with safety protocols. Phase 5, the opportunity to have in-person learning with less restrictions. And phase 6, the opportunity to go back to learning such as we know. Those are the pathways that we will be operating under as we go. One of the things that we want to really emphasize, no matter what phase we are, is our staff as well as our teachers and their commitment to communication. Our goal is to work extremely hard to share with you changing dynamics, changing information. And please be mindful that some of this information changes daily. Over the last several weeks, we've seen significant information, and we think it's one thing, the next day is something else. So I just want to thank you for your patience with us as we try to share information with you as we go. Let me talk section number 1. Let me talk about PPEs. Let me talk about what phase 4 says as it relates to protective equipment. Phase 4 says to us that all of our students will come to school in a way that we can provide a safe place the expectations are that all students must wear masks when they are in the building, and that is including students, staff, faculty, and anyone that enters into the building. We've been working extremely hard to acquire all of this material that we can have available for our students, available for our staff, and we are asking you as a family to help us in that way as we seek to honor and to follow those guidelines that have been laid out for us by the state of Michigan under the auspices of Phase 4. We've been preparing a great deal to think about what does that mean in some daily operations. So let me walk you through that. We're anticipating that our school will officially open at 7:30 each morning. Students that arrive at 7:30 will be asked to go to the competition gym to recognize and to respect social distancing as well as masks. And we will open up the competitive gym for students that get here at 7:30. At 7:50, those students then will be dismissed to a particular place where each teacher, their first hour teacher, has been assigned. And then that first hour teacher will escort those students to their first hour. Students that arrive late will be escorted and asked to go to a particular area. That area, an administrator or staff person then will escort that particular student to their first hour. We believe that we have an opening day plan that will address the needs of our students who need to get to school early and at the same time maintain social distancing as we start. We hope to open the school again at 7:30 a.m. Those students will go to the competitive gym. There at 7:50, they will be dismissed to an area where their teacher will be waiting for them, and then they will be brought to their first hour. We're going to ask parents if you would aid us and help us as it relates to students, the checking of temperatures, the monitoring of your student, that if you would aid us with that, we will not be doing any temperature checks here at the beginning of school. We will ask you as parents to work with us, and if your child or children, you see them being ill, we would ask you to please keep them home. We will not have the opportunity to monitor every child that enters into the building. Once that student gets into the building during their first hour, we've been busy going through all of the classrooms, and we've separated the desks in those classrooms to honor the 6-foot social distancing. We're very proud of where we are in that God has blessed us with some really large classrooms. Not only do we have some large classrooms, we're privileged to add 2 additional classrooms to the middle school that will aid us in this effort. Our instructional staff has been busy over the last couple of days going through each class hour, coupled with each teacher's assignment, whereby we can have students and teachers in their respective classes recognizing social distancing. We've also worked here at the school to put directional signage in the building, and that signage will have us going clockwise, where students may be able to move from one class to another in a way that we feel will be safe and correct in our movement. So we have a plan to get our kids and to get them to their first hour. We have a plan to move students around in the building with signage that will aid in that. We're planning for our teachers to be able to seat their students appropriately as it relates to social distancing in class. And we're going to continue to work through that. I think that we're well underway as it relates to having our classes in a good order. I spent some time today with the instructional staff, and we are anticipating schedules to be public to everyone by the end of the day on Friday, as we look to make sure that you have your schedule and the opportunity to review that as it relates to class assignment. So, in a short way, we're going to, we have an opportunity to have our students in a safe place at 7:30, an opportunity to get our students to first hour, and then an opportunity throughout the day to move our students to one class to another. And we think that that plan will work for our school. One of the things that aids us is the fact that we're privileged to have a large building. We can utilize this space and utilize this space in a way that will answer the needs that we have. We are privileged to have some spaces that we're also getting ready if necessary, and that's going to be the media center that we can quickly change for a classroom. We're going to have the opportunity for the cafeteria that can be changed quickly if necessary. And then we're going to have the opportunity for some things in the big room that we can change that quickly as necessary as well. So when it comes to the opportunity of spacing, the opportunity of getting our students where they need to be, we believe that we're going to be able to handle that. One of the questions that has been posed to us is, will masks be available for our students if needed? The answer to that is yes. We've encouraged our students and staff will be encouraged to wear their masks throughout the day. Our board of directors has been working to provide opportunities for some equipment such as mics, lapel mics for our teachers, where we'll be able to have appropriate amplification for our teachers. And we believe that that's going to be an excellent opportunity for us as well. One of the questions that has been posed to me is, if a student is struggling in any way during the day, how will we address that? And our goal is to continue to address that such as we've done before. WMC has made significant effort to help students in time of crisis. If there's a student who's having any kind of challenge, any kind of issue, we're going to provide the opportunity so that those students can be healthy mentally, that they can be healthy from a physical place, and that they can be healthy from an educational place. We will do all that we can to provide a safe opportunity for our students. If you would allow me to if you allow me to be personal, there are a number of us who have our own children here. There are a number of us who have our own kids in school. We're going to do everything that we can to provide the opportunity for our students to be safe. And I want to continue to amplify that. We're going to provide the opportunity for our students to be safe for those who come with us. There's some questions as to how do other individuals get into the building. According to phase 4, we're going to provide an opportunity for parents to enter into the building. And that opportunity is that you must call the office, set an appointment to come into the building. There will be an opportunity for you to have hand washing opportunities, an opportunity for a mask to be provided for you, an opportunity to respect social distancing, and we would get you to the respective area that you need to go. It's imperative, parents, that you aid us in this way, that you will call the office, that you will make an appointment so that we can schedule your presence and get you to the appropriate place that you need to go. One of the questions that has been asked to me is, does face shields qualify as it relates to a mask? We made contact with the state of Michigan. We made contact with the county of Muskegon as it relates to this question. And the answer is face shields are not substitute for masks. Face shields will not be considered as a substitute as it relates to masks. As it relates again to personal protective equipment, want to encourage you to make sure that your student come to school with a mask. Those masks need to be worn throughout the day. We will make appropriate accommodations for any student seems to be challenged as it relates to masks. One final note as it relates to PPE. Individual students who have health challenges and cannot must provide for us a statement from their local physician exempting them from masks. Please provide that information to our office as it relates to masks if students are medically challenged in that way. If you have particular issues concerning this area, I'd love to speak to you individually, to talk to you so that we can find a place whereby all of our students can be a part of the learning experience. At the end of the school day, students, school will end at 3 p.m. Students will be encouraged to leave from the building. Those who are driving, those who will be picked up by parents, we're encouraging them to please leave from the area at the end of the school day. At 3:15, all students that are unable to have transportation ready for them will be carried to the competition gym. At 3:15, all students will be carried to the competition gym to again respect social distancing and there await the arrival of their ride home. At 4 p.m., the school will be officially closed, both the educational area and the competition gym. If that is a major challenge for us, I need to hear from families. But the plan now is that at 3:15, school, those at 3 o'clock, students are dismissed. At 3:15, we hope that families can make arrangements for their student to be picked up. At 3:15, those students that are left will be taken to the competition gym. At 4 o'clock, the school will be officially closed. Rationale behind that is that in the evening, our goal is to continue to do a deep dive as it relates to hygiene and cleaning. And we need to give that time and energy so that we can make that particular effort possible. As it relates to hygienes, we've been very busy with our building maintenance department in placing hand sanitizing equipment throughout the building. There would be signage throughout the building. There would be hand washing opportunities throughout the day for our students. Students will have signage all over the place, reminding our students of the significance of appropriate hygiene. We will continue to have all of this not only in the building, but in all of the classrooms, whereby students can utilize those efforts in the classroom as well. We're encouraging families to make sure that students have all of their school supplies. We will not be able to share supplies with one another. We're going to encourage all of our students to have all of their supplies so that they may maintain an effort of excellence with equipment. Parents, it's important for you to know that we will be cleaning rooms at the end of every hour. We've been in contact with the Department of Health as well as the Department of Education and asked, can we have some student participation with that? And the answer to that is yes. Those students who would like to participate in that area, we will write down all of the desks at the end of every hour so that the next hour of students that come in will come into a classroom that has been wiped down. Throughout the day, we've added some staff throughout the day that will clean the building throughout the day. Various areas, bathroom, light switches, all of those things. We've added some staff that will avail themselves to that area as well. So when it comes to hygienes and cleaning, we believe that we're in a good place as it relates to that. We spent significant time, families, over the last couple of days looking at our ventilation system, looking at our air conditioning system, and we believe as well that ventilation and air conditioning is in a good place. I'm excited about the opportunity of having outside education. We're looking in the early part of the year to be able to carry some of our classes outside. We're looking at the opportunity of having our teachers to be creative and spend some time outside with their classes. If you've been by the campus, there are significant capital campaign improvements that are happening. And we're looking at the opportunity of how can we use this campus to help our students. And when there is positive weather, as such as we have now, we plan to utilize that to get our kids outside, to get our kids into some fresh air, some fresh learning opportunities, and practice social distancing in that way. So if you hear of us being outside and doing some educational things, we're looking at some chapel opportunities outside. We're looking at being really creative with how we do chapel. There will be some opportunities to have smaller chapels. We're being really creative to think about how that will happen. And to be very honest, we're very excited about some of the innovative possibilities that we have to recognize community, but to recognize community in a different way. And I should say to you, there's much more to come as we think about that. There is much more to come as we think about those particular issues. One of the things that I think is important for me to talk to you about tonight is some new opportunities that our board of directors have worked on with my particular office. And families, we are blessed to have outstanding members of the board of directors who are seeking in every way possible to provide a safe and healthy and excellent opportunity. So thank you, board of directors, for your efforts in this way. I'm proud to announce tonight what we call WMC Virtual School. We're excited about having students in the class. We want students to be in the class. If there are students and families who feel that they cannot handle an academic day in the class, we are preparing a virtual opportunity. Let me walk you through that because I'm really excited to talk about this. We're preparing an opportunity and we're equipping some classrooms with some of the latest technological equipment that would be second to none here on the Lakeshore. For some of our AP classes, we're preparing an opportunity to have mic ceilings. We're preparing an opportunity to have throw projectors. We're preparing an opportunity to have various webcam and hovercam opportunities. And let me just walk you through that. A student can be home, that they can stream into their first hour. There will be an opportunity for the teacher to see all of the students, both in person and virtual. There will be an opportunity for the student to identify with the class, participate with question and answers in the class, an opportunity to track the lecturer, the opportunity to get assessments in and be a part of the WMC experience from a virtual opportunity. I'm really excited tonight over the fact that our students can have the in-person privilege, the in-person opportunity. But if there are situations that will not permit the student to be in the class, we are working extremely hard to prepare classrooms that will give you both a in-person and a virtual experience. At the end of this week, we're going to power one of those particular classes. The next opportunity that I have with you is going to be an opportunity to show you how that will look. Our goal is to provide this opportunity for students who cannot be a part of the in-person learning. So please be patient with us. Please be patient with us. But we believe that we're on the cutting edge of education in a unique and a very powerful way. Classrooms will be so equipped that we're going to enhance some classrooms that will be state of the art, an opportunity for our students to learn. And there's much more coming as it relates to that particular matter. I'm happy to talk even more. There'll be more opportunities. We're going to ask our families to think about this model. We're going to ask our families to help think that through. And we're going to ask you to make a commitment to either in-person or WMC virtual. We're going to have much more information coming about that within the next couple of days, particularly after our time on Friday. Early next week, you will hear much more about this particular opportunity. Would you please help me saturate that with prayer, because we believe that we're going to be on the cutting edge as it relates to education. Let me spend some time talking about what it means as we continue to strive to protect our students as it relates to testing, as it relates to those particular issues. Let me spend some time talking about that. Our goal, again, is to ask parents to work with us as you monitor your students. Would you please work with us as you monitor your students at the beginning of the day? If students, after arriving at school, appears to present symptoms as related to COVID-19, then we will remove those students, and phase 4 says that we need to provide an area whereby those students can wait for family to come. This particular area is an area that we're providing even now, and we're going to be able to have an opportunity for a safe and healthy place for our students until families arrive to pick up their student. Once a student is dismissed from WMC with symptoms as it relates to COVID-19, we're going to ask those students to be tested. If that student tests negatively, then students will be invited to rejoin their class. That particular time will afford us the opportunity to continue the educational process through our virtual experience. If student tests positive, then students will be asked to quarantine for 14 days. At the end of those 14 days, tested again to receive a negative test result, and then those students will be invited to return back to WMC. We will continue to monitor that every day Families will be notified if we have a positive case in school. Classrooms will be changed if necessary. Classroom will be changed if necessary to provide the opportunity for cleaning, to provide the opportunity whereby we continue to effort, but we will clean those particular areas for our students. Once a student returns back to school, our office will continue to monitor these particular areas. We will continue our efforts to make sure that these opportunities are safe and effective for our students. I see one of the questions that relates to COVID-19 symptoms and cold symptoms. And let me just be really transparent here. There are none of us at WMC that are licensed physicians. There are none of us who claim to have any kind of expert effort. That's why we're dependent upon families to help us. We're dependent upon you to come to the school if we request you, to help us walk through these particular processes, because we need family participation with us. Again, our goal is to be safe, but I want to be really transparent. We're not physicians. We don't claim to be physicians. Our goal is to contact you if that case arises. We will make contact with you. We will keep students in a safe place until we can have that level of communication with you as a parent. And I hope that you will work with us in that way, because we want to look out for all of our students here at WMC. I see one of the questions that's been presented about the lunchtime experience. And let me just say a quick word about that. Lunches, student will have the opportunity to have lunches here at WMC. Lunches will be carried to individual classes. We're spending a significant time with our lunch staff to design appropriate meals that will be exciting for our students, and an opportunity to have appropriate cleaning measures. But students will not congregate together at lunchtime. Those lunches will be carried to the respective classes. We're also looking at opportunities as to how students might need a chance to warm up food. We're going to see how we can do that. We do not have a plan in place for that right now, but we are looking to work through that particular area as well. But lunches will be in the classroom. They will not be in the cafeteria. If the weather is nice, we hope to have some of this experience outside. Again, the opportunity for some fresh air, the opportunity for students to have a larger area, and we'll be monitoring that each day to provide those opportunities as well. I seen the question as relates to students who may refuse to wear a mask. There are several things that we would do as it relates to that. We will share with the student how important it is for us to follow the guidelines that have been presented to us by the state of Michigan. We will have conversation with the student. We'll have conversation with the family as to how we expect our students to follow those guidelines. students who refuse to obey the counsel of the school and refuse to obey the policy of the school will be asked to be removed from the campus. They will be given the opportunity to participate in WMC virtual school. And we will work with every student in that way. I noticed a question about what does it mean for students who may struggle with math? And I said just a word about that. Students that have some struggles as relates to wearing masks, we plan to work with them individually. We are planning to spend as much time as we can helping students to work through anxiety, helping students to work through potential health challenges, and we will be doing that with the aid of our staff and the aid of parents. And we would encourage your participation with us in that way. One of the final things that I want to share is that whole question as it relates to our staff. We will be working again with our staff. We're anticipating professional development to start in just a few days, and that professional development will equip our teachers to handle our students and to handle our students as professionals, to handle our students with love, to handle our students with an attitude of grace. And I've got to simply give it up for our staff. There is no better staff than the staff of Western Michigan Christian Middle and High School. They are staff who can be communicated with, who can be talked to, and we stand ready to help in that way. Let me say a quick word about extracurriculars and athletics. As it relates to groups, as it relates to chapel, as it relates to various opportunities, again, we plan to be really creative with this and yet honor and respect the social distancing guidelines that have been laid out for us. We want you to join with us as we look at some real creative ways, because we want to continue our effort in building community. We want to continue our effort in building an opportunity for our students as we share in community. As it relates to athletics, we're working with the Michigan Athletic Department. We anticipate August 20 to hear the direction for fall athletics. We're excited about the opportunity of what that may be. We're preparing all of our fields, preparing our coaches to deal with the guidelines. The Michigan Department of Athletics will be preparing for us, and we're waiting for those final statements to be given to us. We anticipate getting that information around the week of August 20. I spent significant time this week talking to individuals as it relates to band and choir. And let me say a word about that. Kudos to Mr. DeBone and Miss Bexford. They have some real exciting opportunities for our students as it relates to band and choir. We're going to utilize some various areas within the school for maybe sectional opportunities. We're going to move the students around in the band room as well as in the choir area, respecting social distancing. Both of these professionals are spending time thinking about not only the opportunity of singing, but the theory of music, We're going to look at the possibility of outside performances as the weather gives us opportunity. So there are some plans in place that will give our students the chance and opportunity to participate with band and with choir as well. Both of these individuals are looking at what will be state requirements for their respective groups, be that band, be that choir, and we will communicate with you when those particular standards are passed down to us. One final word that I would ask of you. I would ask of you tonight to help us as a school. I would ask of you to join with us as a community. I am the first to admit that these are unprecedented times. I'm the first to admit that these are situations and challenges that we have very little past history in operating. But I'm also the first to admit that we have a committed staff. We have a committed leadership. We have a committed executive team that's committed to maintain Christian excellence, that's committed to safety, that's committed to academic excellence. And not only do we have a committed board of directors, staff, a committed support staff, I'm grateful that we have committed families, that we have committed students who want to advance the kingdom of Jesus Christ. So my closing comment to you is, would you please work with us? Would you help us to work so that we can be excellent every day? When there are areas that we've made missteps, would you communicate with us? Would you talk with us? Would you partner with us so that we can continue our efforts for the advancement of Jesus Christ? I invite you to contact my office directly. We will spend time even tonight publishing this information that we've shared today. We will look at questions that have been submitted tonight, and we will address those questions as we go. If there are additional concerns, please email me, email my staff. We would do our best to get back in touch with you in a timely way. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for this opportunity. Would you remember us in prayer as we move forward? Pray for us, and we will continue our effort for the carrying out of the vision, mission statement of Western Michigan Christian Middle and High School. Thank you, and have a good night.